Our flight altitude is 12,500 meters. We are approximately 850 kilometers from Chicago, and our ground speed is 900 kilometers per hour.
The meter is the basic measure for length and distance. The metric way of measuring is a system of tens. It's like our money. The dollar is the basic unit. A tenth of a dollar is a dime. A tenth of a dime is a cent. Going the other way, 10 cents make 1 dime. 10 dimes make $1. Here is a meter stick. It's 1 meter long. There are 10 decimeters in 1 meter, and 10 centimeters in 1 decimeter. Olympic sports are measured in metric terms because most countries use the metric system. This jump was over 8 meters. The athlete cleared the crossbar at 5.5 meters. This is the 100-meter sprint. This longer race is 5,000 meters or 5 kilometers. They will go around the track 12.5 times. Learn the names for large metric measures. Deca, 10. Hecto, 100. Kilo, 1,000. 10 meters is the same as 1 decameter. 100 meters is the same as 1 hectometer. 1,000 meters is the same as 1 kilometer.
From here to the flag is 100 meters. From here to the tower is 1 kilometer.
How many meters is that? The basic metric unit of measure for length and distance is the meter. Learn the names of the smaller units. Deci, 1/10. Centa, 1/100th. Miller, 1,000th. A meter has 10 decimeters. A decimeter has 10 centimeters. A centimeter has 10 millimeters. 10 millimeters make 1 centimeter. 10 centimeters make 1 decimeter. 10 decimeters make 1 meter. Remember, the metric system is a decimal system. Learn to judge lengths and distances in metric terms. Watch these everyday measures.
Not even a meter, 89 centimeters. That's 0.89 meters, 89 hundredths of a meter.
110 centimeters. That's 1 meter, 10 centimeters.
$153 centimeters. $65 centimeters.
Height, 146 centimeters. 135 centimeters. Weighs 75 centimeters.
Centimeters.
A new pencil only if the old one is less than 10 centimeters long. Are you kidding? That's 11 centimeters.
15 centimeters.
8 centimeters. You get a new one. 4 centimeters. Here's a new pencil for you. 5 centimeters. Trade for this one. It's brand new.
18 centimeters.
Sharpen that pencil. The point is less than 1 millimeter long.
That's really sharp. 5 millimeters. Mine's a silly little millimeter longer.
The more you measure, the better you'll be able to judge. How long is a kilometer? How far can you walk in an hour? These boys hike about 10 kilometers in an hour. Over 1,000 kilometers per hour. 100 kilometers an hour.
Sorry, sir. The speed limit is 115 kilometers per hour.
"32 kilometers an hour. The millimeter is 1,000th of a meter. It's a tiny measure.
Pass me the 21 millimeter socket.
This film is 8 millimeters wide. The film in your classroom is twice as wide, 16 millimeters. What metric term would you use to measure the size of your classroom? What metric term would you use to measure your pencil? What metric term would you use to measure the distance between two cities? Remember these terms. Deci, 1/10. Centi, 1/100th. Milli, 1,000th. Deca, 10. Hecto, 100. Kilo, 1,000. The meter is the basic measure for length and distance.
Kilograms. For the next press, let's add another 10 kilograms. 5 kilograms on each side.
international sports competition uses metric measurements. Since 1932, more than 2 generations ago, more and more American sports are based on them. That's when the American Athletic Union voted to make metric measurements official.
How much weight have you been lifting?
60 kilograms. I just added 10 kilograms.
Why did you say kilogram?
That's the most common metric measure for weight. That's 1,000 grams. Gram is the basic unit of weight, but it is a small unit.
Learn the names for the larger units. Deca, 10. Hecto, 100. Kilo, 1,000. Learn the names for the smaller units. Deci, 1/10. Centa, 1/100th. Milla, 1,000th. The metric way of measuring is based on tens. It's like our money system. The dollar is the basic unit. 1/10 of a dollar is a dime. 1/10 of a dime is a cent. Going the other way, 10 cents make 1 dime. 10 dimes make $1.
That's a kilogram of hamburger.
I'd like to learn a practical way to judge the weight of 1 kilogram.
Measures for length, volume, and weight are all related. The weight of 1 liter of water is the same as 1 kilogram.
That's easy to remember. 1 kilogram equals 1 liter of water. 1 gram must be very small. Let's find out. Vicki, how heavy is a gram?
I'll show you. Hold out your hand. That's 1 milliliter of water. It weighs 1 gram.
The gram is the basic unit for weight. There are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. 1 liter of water weighs 1 kilogram. 1 kilogram is the same as 10 hectograms. 1 hectogram is the same as 10 decagrams. 1 decagram is the same as 10 grams. 1 gram is the same as the weight of 1 milliliter of water. That's the amount of water to fill a cubic centimeter. 10 cubes filled with water weigh 1 decagram. 10 decagrams make 1 hectogram. 10 hectograms make 1 kilogram. The name for large weights is metric ton. A metric ton is the same as 1,000 kilograms. Do you know how big this elephant is? Can you judge his weight? Well, this big one is 5 metric tons, 5,000 kilograms. The smaller one is 4 metric tons, 4,000 kilograms. The truck holds 30,000 liters of milk. Remember, 1 liter of water weighs 1 kilogram. Since milk is a little heavier than water, we can judge that the milk in the truck is a little heavier than 30,000 kilograms, or just over 30 metric tons. If we measure this pool, we can calculate the volume of water.
10 meters wide, 15 meters long.
Okay, thanks. The average depth is 2 meters. To find the volume, multiply length times width times depth.
300 cubic meters.
And that's 300 metric tons. We have seen larger weights, kilograms and metric tons. But remember, the gram is the basic unit for weight. This paperclip weighs about a gram. Here are some more examples. Let's look at this vitamin E capsule. It's 200 milligrams. This vitamin C pill is 400 milligrams. And this iron capsule is over 600 milligrams.
I weigh 59 kilograms. I am learning to judge weight and to express them into metric terms. Take a careful look at these students. Let's see how much they weigh. 30.5 kilograms. 36 kilograms. 41.8 kilograms. Hey, don't forget little Lou. He weighs 20.5 kilograms.
Oh boy, I'm heavy.
Let's go to the store. You pick out some items, and I'll call out their weight. .2 kilograms. .900 grams. .298 grams. 85 grams. 198 grams. 200 grams. 2 grams. Thanks. You're on your own now. Why do you say kilogram?
That's the most common metric measure for weight. That's 1,000 grams. Gram is the basic metric unit of measure, but it is a small unit. What metric unit would you use to express your own weight? What metric unit would you use to express the weight of a sugar cube? What metric unit would you use to express the weight of an elephant?
Why is the metric system a decimal system? The liter is the basic metric unit of measure for volume.
You ask how much milk is carried by this tanker? 30 kiloliters, 30,000 liters. That would fill 120,000 drinking glasses. Enough for a lot of thirsty throats.
The metric system is a decimal system. It's based on tens. Learn the names for the larger measures. Deca, 10. Hecto, 100. Kilo, 1,000. Learn the names for the smaller measures. Deci, 1/10. Centa, 1/100th. Milli, 1,000th.
Well, the metric way of measure is much like our money system. It's based on a system of tens. The dollar is a basic unit of measure. A tenth of a dollar is a dime. A tenth of a dime is a cent. And going the other way, 10 pennies make 1 dime. 10 dimes make $1.
This holds 1 liter. It's marked to show smaller units. A tenth of a liter is a deciliter. A tenth of a deciliter is a centiliter. 100 centiliters in 1 liter. A tenth of a centiliter is a milliliter. 1,000 milliliters make 1 liter. This syringe holds 10 milliliters. Metric measures of volume and length are related.
That's important for science, and it's practical. 1 milliliter contains the volume of a cube, 1 centimeter in length. Watch, these drawings will explain.
Here's a picture of a 1 liter container. It is 10 centimeters on each side. 1 liter is the same as 10 deciliters. 1 deciliter is the same as 10 centiliters. 1 centiliter is the same as 10 milliliters. Look at the size of 1 milliliter. It is 1 centimeter on each side. If it were filled with water, it would hold 1 milliliter. 10 milliliters is the same as 1 centiliter. 10 centiliters is the same as 1 deciliter. 10 deciliters is the same as 1 liter.
I get 5 200 milliliter glasses out of each liter.
What's the secret of success in the lemonade business?
Well, I could tell you one thing that's real important, measuring. Making a profit in business requires accurate measurements. You must give the customer the exact amount he's paid for, or you'll lose a good customer, maybe even a good friend. You can't give the customer more than he's paid for, or you'll go broke. No matter what the shape of the container, if it has 1,000 cubic centimeters, it holds a liter.
Accurate measurements are absolutely mandatory in medicine and in science. I have to be certain that the right amount of medicine is given. That depends not only on the medicine, but on the weight of the patient as well. This syringe used for giving shots is marked in metric measurements. Fractions are easy to figure because the metric system is a decimal system.
Give me an example.
Yes. Come with me. This boy requires 2 milliliters of medication. This boy is larger, weighs 30% more, will require 2.6 milliliters of medication.
Let's take a look at this committee preparing for their class party. The metric system is good for science. Do you think it's good in the home, too?
Certainly. The metric system is easier, more practical. It's such a simple decimal calculation to convert from one metric measure to a larger or a smaller one. Now we need 1 liter of milk and a half liter of cream.
Why doesn't she say quarts and pints?
I don't know.
Those new measurements sound strange.
I don't even know what they mean.
What can they do to understand your new ways of measuring?
They need to practice measuring, and then they need to express their measurements in metric terms. They should learn how to judge the amount of 1 liter. They can easily learn the system of tens of the metric way.
Bring the 1,000 milliliter cylinder. It calls for a half liter. That's 500 milliliters of basic solution.
These students are quite at home with metric measurements.
Now, 10 milliliters of sulfuric acid solution.
Measure it in the small graduated cylinder.
Let's get a closer look at this container.
510 milliliters. It's marked in deciliters and centiliters. 10 of these make 1 of these.
Hey there. Let's go to the grocery store.
Who, me?
Sure, why not? Pick out some milk, cola, pickles, whatever you like. I'll call out the metric measurement. 1 liter. That's the basic measure for volume. 2 liters. 50 centiliters. 250 milliliters. All amounts are in whole numerals, not fractions. 300 milliliters. 60 milliliters. 30 milliliters. Look at some larger volumes. This tank holds 50 kiloliters or 50,000 liters. This other tank holds 14,000 kiloliters or 14 million liters. There are 1,000 liters in a kiloliter. The best way to learn to judge large volumes is to measure and calculate. The average depth of the water in this pool is 2 meters.
10 meters wide, 15 meters long.
Okay, to find the volume, multiply length times width times depth.
15 times 10 times 2, that's 300 cubic meters. But the metric unit for volume is liters. Meter is the metric unit for length.
The units for length and volume are related. 1 cubic meter is the same as 1 kiloliter. The swimming pool has 300 cubic meters. That's the same as 300 kiloliters. The liter is the basic metric measure for volume. What metric term would you use for this amount of milk? What term would you use for smaller measures? What term would you use for larger measures? Why is the metric system a decimal system? The liter is the basic metric unit of measure for volume.